Hello, world, and welcome to another episode, a special episode of Critical Hit, a foul mouth podcast where we talk about everything. I am your host, Red King, and with me always is Crimson and Chrono Warden.
Hello!
Hold it. Keep going. That was in no way related to our special episode. It is
greetings. It's fine.
It is our special May the 4th episode. We're going into Star Wars, and as much of the incredibly massive lore as we can cram into like roughly an hour, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be like disjointed and weird, but we're gonna do it, and maybe we'll do it every year. We'll definitely do it every year. Are you guys ready?
We're ready!
We are Critical Hit. And May the 4th starts now. All right, a quick before we begin. We got a lot to cover, but we are going to get back into Chrono's Tech Talk. Chrono, take it away.
Yes. So, in fitting with the idea of Star Wars, faster than light travel.
I thought you were going to talk about laser swords. I was about to be like, I'm listening.
No. So, imagine, if you will, instead of it being 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time, it's 3 dimensions of time and 1 of space.
You want to know what?
That's too smart for me.
Well, to get to the point of this is the University of Warsaw and the National University of Singapore. So Warsaw, Poland. It is theoretical physicist Andrzej Dragan is trying to determine how humanity could achieve faster than light travel by applying the theory of general relativity over quantum physics.
So, all right. So my question is
Just applying it over.
because that's the thing is they're so smart that it's like, oh, I'm just applying this. I'm like, what the fuck? But here's the thing: is this going to be an everyday thing? Like, am I going to be able to just go to like instead of taking a bus, I take like fucking time?
You know
bus?
how fucking ridiculous it would be to just warp space and time to go cross town?
Dude, it'd be like the Magic School Bus.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
The Magic School Bus never.
They go through fucking time, don't they?
No,
I thought they went through time.
They go through dimensions.
they shrunk down and entered into a child's body. That sounded fucking sus. Whoa,
one
sus
annoying-
bus.
One annoying redhead kid that was just Chucky grown up. I don't want to do anything fun. It's scary.
Yeah, he was a piece
Chucky
of shit.
Finster.
the
But
Magic
Chucky
Sauce Bus.
Finster's ma died, so it kind of makes sense that he was scared.
That was a weirdly
can't-
deep show.
I can't remember who the redhead kid was from Magic School
Arnold,
Bus.
I think his name was.
Arnold could eat a deer.
Arnold, not Schwarzenegger.
The least Schwarzenegger of all the Arnolds. Continue.
But anyway, the basic idea that Dragan is exploring is the idea of what's called a superliminal observer, which means it's literally someone observing space-time from faster than light.
So, all right. My first question is, what is superliminal?
It literally means faster than light.
Oh.
Technically, it means more than light.
Oh, okay. I mean, fair enough. I didn't know that. So that's fair. That explains a lot of what you just said. I was like, superliminal. Yeah.
But basically, the way he's applying it is that is the theory he is working with of operating with it being, for our 4 dimensions, it's 3 dimensions of time and 1 of space, instead of being the XYZ axis of space and then the 1 of time.
Is this going to be like a? Are they on a near breakthrough? Is this going to be soon?
Right now, it's all just theoretical, but they're trying to apply the math because quantum physics is weird. Like, so gravity at our scale and then on a universal scale tends to operate under a certain set of rules that are fairly universal. Black holes get a little weird just because they're literally condensed almost infinite gravity in a single point in space. Quantum mechanics, once you start getting into that, the rules of gravity can break down. Like, it's possible to actually be in 2 places at once, or Like they have actually successfully teleported single molecules on the quantum level.
I do remember reading something about that. It was a little while ago, but I remember reading it. I can't say it so intelligently, but I do remember reading it.
So the idea, like, we can travel faster than sound, right? Like every Mach measurement is times the speed of sound.
Well, yes, because the speed of sound is 763 miles per hour.
Well, okay. Right? But I guess what I was trying to say is like a sonic boom is like, I've never been near like a military airstrip or anything.
You've never been to like an air show?
No.
Because, dude, those jets, when they hit that fucking sonic boom, it is one of the coolest fucking experiences.
Question.
Where
When
can
you
we
start,
go?
when you, well, I mean,
That's a more
They
important.
have an air show at the local airport or somewhere around there. They usually do it in August.
What I was wondering is like if you break through time and space and start traveling faster than light, does the sonic boom, as if you will, count as a fucking black hole? Is that what we find out when we actually start applying practice into
No,
theory into practice?
because black holes are different. This isn't ripping apart the fabric of space in the way a black hole does. Generally, there's two. This is kind of a newer theory from what I was reading about how to achieve faster than light travel. One of the other ones is the idea that the way Futurama actually did it, which it's kind of funny to reference that show, where you fold space and then you're at your destination instead of actually traveling faster than light.
Jeez. Wow. like
There's an egghead who watched Futurama and be like,
like plausible. Now, here's my question: is what if we tamper with the wrong thing, right? We rip ourselves into a different dimension on accident, or we rip open a portal. We'll say in a lab that's based in a desert somewhere, perhaps with the name of Black Mesa.
are you really referencing Half-Life?
Yes,
You had to pull. It wasn't even like
It wasn't a
it had
smooth.
no finesse.
No, there was no. I just really wanted to talk about Half-Life.
Well, you're about 14. Actually, I think it's longer at this point. Too late.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, yeah. Well, shit. Because I can't remember who I was talking to. I might have been at a bar. But
What a setting to talk
Hearing
about something
somebody-
so scientific.
no, and it's like the least scientific way that you can approach it. And like it's somebody who goes, "Oh, you know, we can move faster than light. We just don't know how to do it." Like, God,
You know,
good play, good fucking play.
after a certain state, you just agree with it.
I did not. I was not drinking enough that time. I was just like, yeah, nah, I wasn't. I wasn't there.
But yeah, it's kind of cool to see people trying to put general relativity to quantum mechanics.
I was gonna say it's cool to see sci-fi bullshit kind of make its way into being like real,
Well, I mean, even from Star
because
Trek,
that was Greek to me.
think about the first cell phones. The Star Trek communicators from the 1960 series were flip phones.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. They're just jacking ideas. They're just like, hey, look at that. That looks cool. They're just watching TV and they're like, fuck it.
You grow up watching these shows and you want to fucking do it.
That's true. And if you're smart enough to
I
do
want
so.
a lightsaber,
Yeah, I fucking want a lightsaber.
which is kind of the perfect segue into our main event.
Yes.
This is hopefully going to be a yearly institution for Critical Hit. There is enough of this series to just kind of come back to every single fucking year. And honestly, I think we could probably do days worth of recordings, but we're just gonna try to go after it. It is Star Wars. If you've been living under a rock, I'm sorry, but I actually don't feel like I want to explain it to you. It was in September of 1977 when the first Star Wars film was released.
And the last time France executed someone with the guillotine.
The same fucking day?
Same year.
That would have been better if it was the same day. But actually, yeah, we talked about that during the
last meals.
Yeah. Hilarious thought just to think that maybe it was close. Maybe it was close. Maybe somebody way, way across in the States was watching somebody fire up a lightsaber for the very first fucking time. And at the same time, somebody was stuck in stockades and then a shing
As soon as that thing goes wong.
Right when Obi-Wan dies.
Yes. Like, wow.
Here's the thing that's horribly dark. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. but yeah, no, here's the thing. I mean, I think we actually might have mentioned this before, but the third highest grossing franchise in the world, Star Wars.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. I think what was it? It was behind Pokemon was first, I believe.
Pokemon's
and then Mickey
number
Mouse
one.
or some shit. Which I'm like, I mean, that's some rarefied air to be breathing.
Yep. And video games, movies, fucking comic books. Yeah. Like novels. There's every form of media has Star Wars. Like I mean, I'd be surprised if I met somebody like even in the most like remote corners of the world, you mention Star Wars and somebody's sure to know exactly what you're talking about.
I know someone who's never consumed any Star Wars media.
Get out of here.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How is that possible in 2023?
No interest in it. Prefer Star Trek.
Oh, Lord. Here's the thing, though. If you like sci-fi anything, you never just once was like, even just the cartoons.
No,
cartoons.
because here's the thing, right? Star Wars is unapologetic. It just says this is the way the universe works. Fucking deal with it. Star Trek tries to explain everything, which is why in places it's more interesting. Star Wars is also more of space fantasy.
True.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's nothing interesting about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong there, but
He's like, well,
Okay, so maybe the one with William Shatner and he was like shagging every space chick in the universe. Maybe that was interesting, but I didn't grow up with that one. I grew up with the one with
yeah, The Next Generation was fantastic.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
No, that movie sucked.
It was a show.
As soon as I said the word movie, I fucked up my brain. I knew. But
it's like I literally just had a tumor.
You just don't like political drama.
Star Wars is political drama. But
Not
you want to know
like
what?
Star Trek.
They go all over the place. They have political drama, but then they hop into a fucking spaceship and then move the fuck on.
They also have space samurai. Because that's what the Jedi are.
Yeah, they're badass. In like the
Except for they get defeated by a wrinkly old man who forgot to drink his prune juice.
How
He
the fuck?
blew it.
Blew it. Look at that gum over there. Chew it.
Where's my Mountain Dew it?
Ah, damn it.
Yo.
Damn it.
Get in my spaceship. Phew.
I don't like that color. Hew it.
Nice. Didn't expect it was going to go that direction, but it did.
Slew it.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Hit us on the Twitter.
Get that dog out of here. Shoo it. All right, we gotta stop. This could go on forever.
Turn that video on. View it.
Clue it. Lord Vader, where is my clue set? I must play Clue it.
Oh, I love it.
I had an inkling. I always kind of knew it. This is
Oh my
this
goodness.
is amazing. This was exactly what I wanted.
I have a very nice plan. I grew it.
And then I blew it. Yo, the robot chicken Star Wars, where the Emperor's just always with his friends.
Yeah.
And Vader calls him and he's just making fun of him on the phone.
Yeah.
Torso light. You got an ATM on that torso light, right? You're 6'5" asthmatic ass back here. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, he's crying over Padme again.
I will say though, that's another thing that Star Wars has got going for it. It's got the best crossovers,
Best parodies, best crossovers.
Yeah.
I think like one of the best episodes of Family Guy was the I think it was the Blue Harvest is what they called it for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was like, as somebody who's not really a fan of Family Guy, that made that series.
So you know what one of my other favorite things about the Family Guy Star Wars specials is that so Seth Green plays Chris, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He mentions the robot chicken Star Wars and just gets dunked on.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was good.
That was amazing.
Yeah, no, I think, as a franchise, it's kind of undeniably like, because even if you don't like the movies, which is why it kind of surprises me that you have a friend who indulged nothing Star Wars, because if you don't like the movies, there's TV shows. If you don't like the TV shows, like The Mandalorian. I don't even like Star Wars that much, and The Mandalorian was kind of a good watch.
That's because it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
It focuses way more on like the fucking bounty hunting aspects of Star Wars and Han Solo-esque adventures rather than...
And Baby Yoda's very sellable.
We can't have passion or romance. But you know, the funny part is that Jedi are not forbidden from having sex. They just can't have attachments.
Oh.
So this is one of my favorite memes I've ever seen. Just imagine you're with a Jedi and it's like, oh, are we going anywhere further? And he's just strapping up the lightsaber belt. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to have attachments. And then he just force jumps out the window.
Yep. This motherfucker. That's hilarious.
Clapping cheeks and leaving seeks.
Yep.
So I think the one thing I found kind of interesting too of Star Wars is that it had a very unique way of like taking something that was arguably just very unpopular and making like one of their biggest series out of it, and that's Clone Wars. Like the Clone Wars is huge, right? And it started with a prequel that nobody liked.
Okay, so episode 2 has some of the best fight scenes in a movie ever. And then it's also a shitty romance novel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
It had group fights. It had like free for all, like Jedi, like, it had those weird fucking roly robots.
Droidicas, yeah. But like when all the Jedi come into the fucking arena and they just start cutting up fucking droids and shit.
Yeah.
That's a great fucking scene.
I think so. Here's the thing. I would say that the thing that saved and the reason why that kind of took off into its own series was because that was the best out of the prequels easily.
No.
Like, you really?
Episode 3 is so much better than episode 2.
I disagree.
I have some thoughts about episode 3, but I kind of want to save it for a little bit later.
He's like, I'm not trying to take it out right now.
I think
Is this just going to turn into a tier list of the main movies and then we'll do other shit next year?
no, I can't. We can't do that to them.
The truth is, I haven't seen enough of them to have an accurate tier list. I've seen the prequels. I saw one of the new trilogy because
I have not consumed any new trilogy.
I watched Rogue One. I watched that
Rogue One was fucking good.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Rogue One had the same energy as Halo Reach.
Yeah, that's why I loved it.
Where it's like, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
None of these guys are going to make it.
I'm not going to lie. That's that kind of, that's spine tingly right there. That's the type of story I love. I don't know why. That's like, you'll get me every time. One of those.
Where it kind of manages not to be grim dark, but there's no happiness. This is definitely.
So the funny part is that
Yeah.
for Rogue One, Disney was trying to work it in so that Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor would survive, and even the actors were like, that makes no damn sense.
Yeah, yeah. That last stand is it's such an effective scene, man. That's one of the biggest things. Like whether it's a video game, movie, book, whatever, that last stand is, I'm thinking Red Dead. I'm thinking Halo Reach.
Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2, Crisis Core.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was I didn't really think too much about that until you got to the ending there where, it's kind of fresh, so I'm not going to spoil it. But
yeah, like Versus 13 or Akito or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that also had one of those last stand, like very bleak storylines.
Yeah.
Time travel, which kind of nullified a lot of that bullshit. But
yeah. Yeah. It's a little rough.
I always hate it.
But no, I will give it to Star Wars that it does have. It's so versatile because if you don't like one thing, there's probably a retelling or a different story that you will enjoy in some.
Well,
facet.
their kid loves Star Wars. They've just never bothered.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Because my kid's like the dumbest shit. And you want to know what? I know the Santiago of the Sea theme song. I know the characters. You can't just not be fucking bothered.
I have another friend who has written like entire treatises on Octonauts.
Listen.
I know all the songs from fucking Backyardigans.
Do they ever watch the Jake and the Neverland Pirates?
Oh my gosh, that's my least favorite one. Because once again,
a pirate doesn't steal things.
of course they steal things. You've got me fucked up.
That's the whole fucking point.
Come on, Jake. Neverland Pirates. You're trying to tell me that... No. No, this isn't the place for it.
Yeah.
You almost got me. You almost got me.
But you do remember the first Clone Wars cartoon? It was like a mini series.
Yeah,
Gendy Tartakovsky.
Yeah. That was fire, man.
With that Samurai Jack art style.
Oh yeah. And
they managed to almost seamlessly translate that into 3D for the main series.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it actually started as a movie. You remember that?
Yeah.
The Clone Wars animated movie.
And they had those stupid Jabba the Hutt babies.
Yeah.
Yo. So, yeah, Star Wars be trying like baby mascots.
Yeah, it was doing baby mascots for a while. Mm-hmm. And that was actually because you remember how like Digimon the movie was actually like 3 different OVAs all stitched together.
Yes.
That's kind of what happened with Clone Wars animated movie, is that they wanted to do an animated series, and the first I think it was 4 or 5 episodes they just kind of worked into being a movie. Now they did it better than they did with Digimon the movie because the first movie, I will say, because there's been other Digimon movies since, but they did a lot better because it was actually a coherent plot and they reanimated things.
Right.
So no, I feel like, and that was kind of like the kickstart of this long running, because they have Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, mm-hmm. which is a continuation of the Clone Wars TV series. So I'm like Clone Wars is everywhere. That's
Bad Batch.
Yep.
Bad. I thought you were talking, but I don't know why, but I thought you were talking about a bad batch of
no
content. I was about to be like, that's mean.
No, the actual Bad Batch.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I had to think about that for a second. You caught me off guard. I was like, that's mean.
Not hard to do.
Hey, listen.
You're a V1 engine.
Oh.
That was kind of a highbrow insult, but okay.
So there's a couple of different, obviously thematically, I guess we kind of started on the year that it was released, and then we kind of just went on tangents from there. But, the themes are that political intrigue. The themes are a war against ideals. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of glommed on to was, even though there are all these different factions and these different people and these power players and like politics and really it was a big politics thing, but it really boiled down to that light side, dark side thing. And
The Sith and the Jedi aren't that different.
I was gonna start talking about that.
Oh,
Indeed. Like, how fucked up is it that the Jedi at some point in time figured out how to get into like basically the galaxy's medical records, and they were finding children with high midichlorian counts, the weird in your weird bloodline thing that makes you force sensitive.
Your weird force sensitive bacteria.
Yes. And they were
didn't know.
yeah,
I actually didn't know
the thing that makes a human or otherwise
Any species.
force sensitive is midichlorians, a type of bacteria that exists in their blood.
Okay, all right. I mean, that makes sense.
And then they just cruise around the galaxy trying to get people's kids from them. They're like, hey, we're kind of in the middle of a big thing. We can train your kid and turn them into a fucking ultimate weapon. I mean, one way or another, we're going to get this kid. And some of the methods that they took to get these kids to be Padawans were really fucking underhanded.
Oh, yeah.
Because right around that Clone Wars, right around during the Clone Wars timeline, the Jedi kind of stopped caring. They kind of held their beliefs all up until the Clone Wars started. Then they kind of did what they weren't supposed to do, and that was start to stick their fucking noses into way too many conflicts and got directly involved and losing guys left and right and got dirty with trying to find fucking Padawans, man.
Yeah. They I think that's kind of like the long running theme though, is that, you know, there really is like a very, very thin fine line between like your Jedi and your Sith. It's like, I mean, let's face it, like the fine example, Anakin Skywalker being like the big bad, the biggest bad. You know,
The second biggest bad.
yeah, no, the second biggest bad, that's fair. But you know, and I mean, I would argue the biggest bad because he's got some children to his name.
Right?
No.
No?
Palpatine also has children.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I did not know that.
Yeah, you haven't watched the last trilogy, so.
Oh, okay, fair. Which, here's the thing, speaking of dark side, is that Luke Skywalker was actually originally supposed to switch to the dark side.
Fall to the dark side.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was like the idea, and you can kind of see remnants of it, but you know, they kind of backed off, even just in like style and everything. He was wearing black robes and everything like that. Like they were trying to kind of allude to it, and then I think that, you know, the last minute decision of like, oh, this is the hero, we can't do that. And technically speaking, I mean, all your prequel fodder's kind of gone at that point if the exact same thing happened to a Skywalker.
So on that subject, right? The whole, it's kind of easy. It's a low-hanging fruit, so I'll just go for it, right?
You're tall enough to reach a higher hanging fruit, unlike this guy.
Did you really need to? Guys, leave me alone.
So Anakin, you know, he was supposed to.
Oh, well, yeah, after that fight with Obi-Wan, he could only get the low hanging fruit, huh?
Heavy legs.
Or an arm.
You want to know what? I was about to go for low-hanging fruit. I was going to say that, oh my gosh, he was supposed to bring balance to the Force. And he still did.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, by having kids, and his kids eventually. You want to know what? Leia's always been better than Luke. Anyways, I'm going for something else.
So hold up before you continue. Wasn't Luke the one who accidentally fell in love with his sister?
So
that was a really weird.
Originally, they weren't supposed to be siblings.
That was a weird plotline.
Yeah. I feel like they tried too hard to kind of keep that plot line.
They hit a little bit too hard into that Jersey Turnpike and then had to veer out of it.
That's bad.
But speaking of Anakin losing his fucking legs, that bothered me so fucking much, right? Because there's a couple of things, right? So that's one thing that I've been stuck on ever since I watched the third prequel is he fell to the dark side, slaughtered a bunch of kids. 45 minutes later, he took a drive in his fucking spaceship to Mustafar and fucked around and found out in the worst possible way. So, like, he knew what he was getting into against Obi-Wan. Like, how fucking stupid are you? Obi-Wan's one of the best duelists in the entire series. And I already know why I've got, like, I'm going to touch on that in just a minute, but the exchange right before he eats shit lives in my brain rent-free for fucking ever. You know,
you're going for the low-hanging fruit because you got the high ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and the thing was, Obi-Wan has got so much grace, so much fucking tact to have him so fucking dead to rights and give him every opportunity to just chill. He said, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." This stupid motherfucker with his red pothead eyes looking at him standing on a fucking lava rock saying, You underestimate my power. This motherfucker told him, do not try it. No uncertain terms. He's like, you come in on me, I'm gonna fucking cut you in half. And Anakin Skywalker does the ultimate fucking bad move. He does an unguarded jump. If you've ever played Street Fighter, you do not do an unguarded jump against an opponent who fucking has you.
Well, and it's funny, right? Because as soon as they get to Mustafar, he just force chokes Padme.
Yep.
Yeah.
He went from this whole thing, all of this bullshit that he did up to this point to try to avoid Padme dying. First thing he does is choke the chick.
Right.
I'm like, you stupid motherfucker.
He's a classic abusive husband.
Oh my gosh.
Yo.
And the father figure
Law and
steps
Order,
in.
Space SVU.
Yep. The father figure steps in and fucks him up good because he shouldn't have did what he did. He said, don't try that.
Don't try it, Anakin.
Like,
You underestimate my power. And then he gets quartered.
It's such a depressingly bad run for Anakin that I think who was it, Hayden Christensen or something like that is the guy who played him. He was just basically nixed from every Star Wars project going forward.
Which is kind of messed up because when he got to be in dark side, when he started to show his dark side colors, I think as an actor he did great.
They had him in they did bring him back for Obi-Wan. He did actually he's been in the suit in a number of other projects.
Yeah, he's good actor.
He is actually a really good actor. The problem is that he was told to overact in the original, the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, because I know the animated series, multiple of the original actors were offered spots to do voice acting in the animated series. Hayden Christensen was not one of them. He's getting some more love now in more recent projects. But before he was basically just No, it was a solid no. Which I feel bad because, like, I don't think it's the same thing with the dude who played Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, yeah,
You know he's going to be Snape in the HBO Harry Potter.
yeah. I heard that.
That's good. I might give that one a try.
That's good casting.
I agree.
That's great casting. That's what I'm saying. Nothing against him as an actor. Like he was a good actor, but it's just the material he was given was just not.
No, Adam Driver's been in a lot of projects since Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
Because he was in that one movie with Scarlett Johansson where there were a couple going through like divorce and shit that I really want to watch that movie.
That sounds fucking sad.
It's a fucking everything I've seen is that it's a fantastic movie. It's on Netflix. I've just never sat down to watch it.
I mean, I dig it, but fuck.
He's also fantastic at being sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing. Like his
Okay,
whole character
so-
was a tragic character.
Kylo Ren is a sad vampire boyfriend.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Nah, you right. You ain't even online for that. You just right.
But I guess one more thing about Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader,
He's a drama queen.
right? He got so dramatic and everything he does is just so dramatic.
Okay, so
Causes so much fucking trouble.
in Rogue One, the Star Destroyer he's on boards the Corellian frigate. He just fucking has his life support off. Dude can't breathe without that. And it's off so that he can turn his fucking lightsaber on and just walk up and traumatize these fucking rebel soldiers.
He's just holding his breath. I'm gonna fucking shoot him.
No, there's literally a story where he stands on top of his TIE fighter, flies it with the Force, and billows his cape behind him in space, holding his lightsaber out just because he wants to be dramatic.
Fucking, I mean, here's the thing, though. Kudos.
No, there's another meme I've always seen that's like, Anakin didn't actually come back to the light side. Him killing Palpatine in episode 6 is the most possible dramatic thing he could have done.
So I think that was probably a reason why Palpatine fucked him over so bad. Like he turned him against Obi-Wan because he knew if Anakin had a regular body, that motherfucker would have ended Palpatine in like 4 seconds. Like as far as the best duelist in the series, obviously Obi-Wan. There's no dispute in that.
Yeah.
Windu is he is not a duelist. I think Mace Windu could probably kill a whole group of people very easily. He's a skirmisher.
He could take Obi-Wan.
I don't think he could.
I promise you he could. Obi-Wan only knows like one lightsaber form. He's always out here with the same form. Windu is actually the one, besides maybe like Qui-Gon, who actually explored the dark side.
I forgot about Qui-Gon Jinn.
Because Vapad is Mace Windu's fighting style. It's about using your anger and shit to increase the power of your strikes.
He could overpower Obi-Wan, but I think if it was a one-on-one fight and Obi-Wan had a focus on him, on Mace Windu, I think he could take him.
I mean, I would go with just one well-placed motherfucker.
Just shake him to his very core.
Obi-Wan's too much of a good boy.
You get caught
Your
with
language like that.
Yeah, you get caught with Frightened 2 and just be like, immediately it's downhill from there.
Nah, listen, Mace Windu is cool though. He's cool as fuck. Cause like I don't know, I've always had like a weird obsession with the purple lightsaber. That was just cool.
So you know what's funny is that before like episode 2 came out, when it was just episode 1, a lot of the toys they released for the Jedi Council and shit didn't have blue or green lightsabers. They had like yellow. They had different colors.
Yeah. Well, they did have a thing. I just read it recently where there's like there's this guard in this tower. I can't remember what it was, but they all have yellow lightsabers and they're like claymores. Which is like really, really fucking cool. I forgot what it's called though.
Well, so this is going to be heavy spoilers. Do you guys care about spoilers for episode 9?
Here's the thing. I'm going to say go for it. Because I don't know if I'll remember.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah. Spoiler warning.
So it's pretty minor spoilers, but it is about the very last scene of the movie.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Literally, Rey has a yellow lightsaber at the end.
So I've always noticed through the series as a whole, yellow lightsabers tend to be given to kind of really special Jedis, like with Knights of the Old Republic. I can speak in English.
Oh boy,
Bastila
yeah.
She had a yellow lightsaber.
So the thing about it though is that the way Knights of the Old Republic did it, I really liked, and it's kind of cool that Rey has a yellow lightsaber because she is someone who is good with technology and shit. So that was the Jedi Sentinels thing. They were skills. They were invested into like understanding technology and shit. Jedi consulars were the philosophers. That's why they got green. They would go in and settle disputes and shit with words, or if somebody wanted to fuck around and find out, you're actually a space wizard.
Yes.
And Guardians are just like, where's the enemy? I want to fucking stab him. Where's the enemy? Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
Yeah, I
And
forgot.
that's why Anakin and Obi-Wan had blue.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot there was like actually like a sort of hierarchy behind the colors and everything like that, you know? Because I feel like after a certain point they kind of, I don't know if they've kind of forgot it or it just kind of got lost in translation, you know what I'm saying?
If you look at Jedis through the series, they adhered to that rule.
Right, because that's the thing. Luke starts out blue, but Luke ends up way more like philosophical and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So him ending up with green makes a lot more sense. Luke is a skilled fighter, don't get me wrong, but he's actually way better at the Force.
That is true. That is true. I remember
Like-
do you remember Ahsoka?
Yeah.
First of all,
Second of all, third score achieved. Second of all,
But you have another quota.
it'll get there.
That's what she said.
damn it.
I feel like if I could just slip in, I downloaded the wrong Star Wars, maybe.
I guess he did it.
He hasn't specifically said it though.
This is true. It'll happen eventually. I think the one thing that kind of
That's a low-hanging fruit though.
Yes.
enough. So at some point during the I want to say it's Rebels, I think, Ahsoka ends up with white lightsabers.
Yeah, she has silver.
Yeah. Which what is behind that? I don't know the story.
There's no particular like lore. There's just different kinds of kyber crystals. Realistically, red ones are just corrupted kyber crystals. The red, yellow, and green in like the main series don't have the same lore that Knights of the Old Republic put behind it.
Right.
But it was just kind of, it's one of those things where Ahsoka basically ends up a gray Jedi.
I forgot about them. I forgot the Grey Jedi was a thing.
Yeah, because she's not really a member of the Jedi Order anymore.
Yeah, she left.
She hasn't been for a long time, so why would she keep blue?
Oh, that's true. That's true. And she also, ironically enough, it was her and Starkiller both ended up dual wielding with that, like
The reverse?
yeah. So that was kind of interesting because they were both introduced in the same year.
Yeah.
So that
And
was
they're both Anakin's apprentice.
yeah. So I was kind of like, interesting. I see what you're doing here.
Force Unleashed 2 was such a bad game.
What?
The second one sucks.
I kind of wish that they. How can I put this? Because the Force Unleashed 1 wasn't bad.
The Force Unleashed 1 was actually a pretty interesting game, except for it had that stupid Star Destroyer scene.
I remember that shit.
Like, it was so shitty in terms of mechanics and everything.
Because they tried to make it seem like this big fucking thing too when they were, because like I remember that being a huge thing when they were talking about Force Unleashed was like, oh, you can bring down Star Destroyer. And it was literally just like this cheesy ass like
Yeah, it was a stupid little stick shifting mini game.
yeah, which is like the worst thing you could have done, like because that gameplay element is just terrible in general,
Right.
Like there's never been done
Because
well.
like the boss fights in that game, except for that one, are so good because you're actually having to like time your strikes. You've got to use your powers. It's fucking sweet. And then it's just right stick, right trigger.
Yeah, because there was. I remember that because there was a certain point where it was like kind of like real. What is that? What is that word?
Stupid.
I mean, yeah.
No, like the Resident Evil shit. Resident Evil 4 shit.
QTEs?
Yeah.
Quick time
QT.
events?
I don't know why it was like real-time strategy.
It was RTS. That's not what you think. That word does not mean what you think it is.
You keep using those words. They do not mean what you think they mean.
Damn it. Yeah, no, I don't know. I kind of wish that The Force Unleashed, I guess I hope that they maybe do like a remake. I think that deserves like a...
I think they need to put Starkiller into like the TV shows and movies. Like,
I think he has made some type of appearance, at least in
been
comics.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was so the whole problem is that The Force Unleashed 2 was clearly a fucking rush job. Like the gameplay in it is cool, but the story sucks completely.
Yes.
And
I had a lot of fun with that game, though.
the only cool part about it was the fucking fighting.
It was good enough.
No, because that game was way shorter than the first one. And the lightsaber play was not that much better.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair judgment.
You want to know what my least favorite thing is? That when that game came out, when The Force Unleashed came out, there were so many games that had protagonists that just had shaved heads. It was like this weird generation of shaved head white guy heroes. Really?
Yeah, because they what's his face from Assassin's Creed?
Ezio.
Yeah.
And
Ezio wasn't shaved.
he
He had long flowing locks.
not Ezio.
It's the guy who goes into the Animus.
Desmond.
Altair.
No,
Yeah.
Altair was not bald either.
Really?
Desmond, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Desmond Miles.
Yes, Desmond Miles had the
What a
shaved head.
shitty name.
Marcus Phoenix from Gears.
Yep.
Had the shaved head.
At least he wore a bandana.
Yeah, there was
True.
a lot of shaved heads in that.
Starkiller
2005 to 2012 era.
because it was
If
like
you think about it, default Commander Shepard,
yeah.
at least male Shepard.
Because it was weird. I feel like it fit into this weird.
There was Psycho from Crisis.
That was
Yeah.
a lot of like hardcore like military stories at that time too.
Yep.
I felt like it was a weird like new metal aesthetic. If I'm being completely honest, like
Oh yeah, it was like Breaking Ben as fuck.
yeah. It was like
Nice.
okay, that's a little much.
Yeah, Walter White.
So, I guess what was another thing I wanted to talk about, because I think we've kind of found our niche for this actual episode was just like staying on Anakin,
Yeah.
because like, right, we've talked about him as Darth Vader, we've talked about him as a master of two different Padawans, which I think was ridiculous because that motherfucker had PTSD and he was all types of screwed up. They're like, let's give him people to deal with.
Well, okay. To be fair, at least when he was training Ahsoka, he wasn't all PTSD'd out.
He had gone through a couple of different really big fights.
Right. But it's nowhere near as bad as with Starkiller. Because, like, Vader kills Starkiller's dad, steals him, straight up Jedi move.
Yep. I remember when they
Jedi
did
as
this to
fuck.
me.
I feel
This
so
is familiar.
nostalgic.
Yep.
Memories. Mother, are you there? Fuck you.
Was that her Force Ghost cussing him out?
Yes.
Nice. Fuck you.
I'm why you're why I'm dead.
And right, like the torso light bright, the cybernetics, that was all because fucking shady ass Palpatine. Like, he's such a shady bastard all the time. And he was so shady that he couldn't even be a Sith without being fucking shady. He was shady for a Sith, right? Because he was trying to betray the rule of two, right? Because there's always one who has the power, one who seeks the power, who is destined to kill him. But bear with me now, right? Palpatine's signature move, his strongest ability, Force lightning. You want to know what doesn't do well against lightning?
Cybernetics.
Cybernetics and fucking life support systems. He did that shit on purpose. He did the whole thing, fucked with his mind, made him freak out about Padme, fucking put him against Obi-Wan, knowing damn well he was going to get his ass, like, worked.
So, you know, one of the
All to turn him into a fucking cyborg so he didn't have the ability to expressly kill him.
You know, one of the interesting things, though, is that there's a theory that Darth Sidious is actually just because, like, he obviously talks about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis, right?
Right.
About how he was trying to overcome death and shit, which it's funny because evidently if you just join the light side, you overcome death anyway because you just become a Force ghost. And as Yoda's Force ghost proves, you can still use the Force.
That's fucking crazy. You're basically still there.
Yeah.
I mean, cool cheat code. I would love that.
But so basically, there's a theory that Darth Revan was a Sith Lord, right? So the Old Republic. The Sith Lord after him is Darth Bane, who actually implements the rule of two. There's a theory that Darth Bane has actually implemented that so that he could just take possession of each successor. So there's a theory that Darth Sidious, Darth Plagueis, all of them are just Darth Bane.
So he's like Force ghost hopping into people's bodies?
Basically, he possesses them. And actually, that was bad for Palpatine because he couldn't take over a cyborg, which is why he was so heavily focused on Luke.
Oh.
Like, Obi-Wan fucked up Palpatine's plan.
So, and not to discredit how interesting what you just said was, but I'm just starting to realize the naming convention of these darts. Because it's like Sidious, Insidious,
Yeah.
Bane. I'm starting to get it now. Where I'm like, oh, okay, I see. Like,
Well, Darth Vader.
Yeah,
You know what Count Dooku's Darth name was?
I don't.
Darth Tyrannus.
One of the sickest fucking Sith name.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a cool name.
Darth Tyrant.
Yeah, that's a cool name. I'll give you that.
He's either a dinosaur or a tyrant. And
Or he's a dinosaur tyrant.
yeah, I mean Tyrannosaurus Rex just means like terrible lizard or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
Well,
fact
it means
that
king of the lizards, but
okay, I was about to be
Rex
like
is
terrible
king.
lizard is actually just sounds like a fucking insult.
Like you're a terrible lizard. All you don't even have the tongue flap thing.
What?
your arms suck too. You know, this wasn't that long ago. I read a
That was a
theory
tongue
that
flap?
someone was like, oh, Tyrannosaurus's arms were short because they were actually wings. They couldn't fly, but they helped it like run and keep balance.
Huh?
I mean, I could see that.
Because aside from that, it was a fucking force of just destruction.
What about the fact that hair doesn't survive? Like the like your bones will leave imprints in, and that's how you get fossils and everything. Hair doesn't survive, so
It
there's,
depends because they have found like mammalian fossils with hair and stuff. A lot of like the mummified and ice type shit. It's got to be very specific, like elements. Like if we were to like dig up tar pits and shit, preserved. It caked in mud and hardened. Generally, there's at least an imprint because that's how they found out like Velociraptor had feathers and shit.
Yeah, well, what if Tyrannosaurus Rex had some hair, bro?
While he was a reptile, hair is a mammalian trait.
We don't know that.
But he's 100%
Hashtag hairy dinosaurs.
Oh God.
Hair has only existed on this planet for a few million years.
I'm gonna
because
fucking
mammals-
argue every day. I'm gonna argue.
Okay, you're wrong.
Are you trying to like have like a T-Rex with like surfer boy hair, just like
No, just hair everywhere, bro.
just a fucking furry
big
dinosaur,
ridgeback hair like a fucking dog.
like Yoshi's Woolly World.
What?
You remember that shit?
No,
Yoshi's Woolly World.
he was made out of yarn. I'm talking about fucking.
Ah, when he was fucking fuzzy, dude. There's he's woolly.
Yes, which is sheep hair.
Yeah, he's fucking fluffy. It's Yoshi's Woolly World, you ass.
Back back to Darth Tyrannus. Count Dooku, the coolest fucking lightsaber design ever. You're not going to derail me. I'm not going to let that shit happen.
Derailed yourself.
Yeah. You're wildin'. Fuck you.
Yeah, you were the one who was talking about hairy dinosaurs.
You're the train with the caboose on the back. Like,
I do have a huge caboose, though.
You can't go forward. You're just like, I can't see where I'm going, so I'm just going to go.
I'm throwing it back.
85 pedestrians just being dragged along by various body parts.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And you're
wait.
like, that smells fine. I just hit a deer.
Wait, you're throwing it back like Riley Reid on the hub. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay, I guess I
Well
did
earned. Well earned.
Yeah, there we go.
it. Okay,
Perfect timing.
fair enough.
I was really expecting the Princess Leia reference, but
Well, I did have an idea there, but I don't want to I don't want to reveal my kinks.
That's just so fucking wrong. What the fuck happened? No. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
and now you know what cylinders 2 through 4 are.
Wait, we're back on the engines? Damn it.
He's actually pretty smart. The problem is that so much of his brain power is devoted to the hub.
He's got like a Ambidex or no, a Rolodex full of fucking adult actress names. It's just most of the fucking space in his brain.
Lord, it's just it's unnecessary.
Like he's an I-9. It's just so many of the cores are dedicated to the core.
It's amazing. That was actually the finest hub reference in this podcast ever.
Yeah.
That's that was some top notch grade-ish.
We
Oh
give
my
this
God.
4 out of 5 erections.
And I don't even know.
Oh no!
I've got a lightsaber for you.
It's like wow.
The Schwartz is strong.
Whoa.
Gotta hit that Spaceballs reference.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Darth helmet.
Here's the thing. I think was it? No, it wasn't. I almost made a horribly wrong informational statement because I think the character design for the Clone Wars animated series was actually based off of one of those weird figure things. I can't remember if it was. I'm trying to think of what it was. I wish I could remember. Oh, Thunderbird or something like that. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was like all these, I want to say pilots, but they were like little figure guys. You know what I'm saying? You remember
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget what it's
It's like-
called.
So Team America World Police had the same.
Yeah, it was like that shit. And apparently that was like, that was ironically enough, aside from the actual cartoon, that was one of the influences. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. It was Thunder something. Not Thunderhawks. Thunderhawks.
I mean, Thunderbirds is definitely fucking Team America World Police.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what it was. That right there. Okay. I knew it was in there somewhere. I don't know why Spaceballs got that, but whatever. I'm trying to get back away from them.
Right. I think Spaceballs is probably one of the best parodies just because they managed.
Lone Star.
Yes, they managed to go right after it. And it was only very shortly after the original trilogy was released.
Yeah.
Like kind of the forerunner of all parody. And
No, Blazing Saddles, the producers, those existed at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't after? Shout out to Rick Moranis anyways. I
Yeah.
remember a couple of years ago, I remember seeing it in the news that he got punched by a random pedestrian for no fucking reason.
Right.
Didn't we talked about that?
Yeah, we
Oh
did.
shit!
Yeah.
My fucking memory is terrible.
Well, that's just like someone walked up to Buzz Aldrin and told him the moon landings were fake, and he just punched him.
Well, fair enough.
Good for you, Buzz.
Yeah. You
Fucking
you
knock
ruined it.
knock his lights out. Dude.
That's
Maybe he won't believe the Earth is flat anymore
Yep.
because you made him spin.
what is with people choosing violence just on the drop of a dime? Just
To be fair, if I was one of the first men to walk on the moon and someone told me it was a lie that I was perpetrating, I'd probably punch him too.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But Rick Moranis, like, why the fuck are you gonna punch him? He's just a little short dude with glasses. Like,
Yeah.
he hurts nobody.
Yeah, I don't really get that one. Like you're flexing on Rick Moranis. That's a little much.
Now, back in Hayden Christensen's day, punch him in the fucking face. No, I'm kidding.
You know,
Leave
the
that
little
man
boy
alone.
that played Anakin in episode 1 is actually a schizophrenic.
Wow.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, not that he has it, but it's cool that he's that sounded horrible. It's cool that he was able to get that opportunity in spite of afflictions.
I bet he's.
Well, schizophrenia doesn't generally affect children.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a disease that generally springs up in, mental illness, I guess is technically correct.
Oh, so
Like
it's a
puberty.
recent thing. It's
I mean,
when he got
like,
older thing.
Probably
Yeah.
because every asshole in the universe that just shits on the prequels just to shit on them, they probably trolled the living hell out of that poor kid all through his
Well,
adult
this was
years.
before the internet was a big thing, so
Right.
That's unfortunate though, because like he's
that
about
happened with the new trilogy. Fucking just neckbeard keyboard warriors out here just harassing actors left and right.
you don't have a right to do that. No matter because I will agree. I think that there was missed opportunity.
I
with-
agree.
with the new trilogy, but it's not the actor's fault. Like they have a whole bunch of script rights and directors and things like that are
Well, right. You can have creative differences with the writing crew and everything like that, but you shouldn't be out here harassing people. You don't send people death threats.
yeah, because that's the thing. I don't understand that. Let's get that out of the way.
It's because they hide behind the anonymity of the internet.
which is fucking pathetic, anyways. But it's like, why? What on earth would compel you to be like, I didn't like something. Let me write a death threat.
Yeah.
Like, I
you're a
can't.
moron. You're an absolute, like, you're an oxygen thief.
Yeah, it's the same way. You're the same motherfucker who will go out of your way to write a bad fucking review about a fucking restaurant.
These are
'Cause
the
you have-
guys that put pudding in a sock, put it in the microwave, and then
And all of this wasted life and failed humanity.
is why we need a Death Star.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so quick funny story. So when Obama was president, there was a thing where if a petition got 25,000 signatures, he would actually talk about it. And there was a petition that got 25,000 signatures for the US to start making a Death Star. And he did actually address it. And he was like, we don't have the technology.
Oh,
At least
listen
not
here.
that we know about.
I don't want to go out there and build a Death Star.
Why is your Barack Obama so good?
That was fucking fearsomely good.
So here's the thing, though. Don't let Red King fool you. We had a thing for a while where, like, for some odd reason, we would
Wait, were
just
you
like
guys doing the Key and Peele type thing?
Oh, we were starting to try to like amass a different bunch of like impressions that we do of like presidents.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I used to kind of do like a little bit like the JFK, but I can't do it now. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do it right now. But
Obama's recent enough, and I've done it recently enough that it's like, but I don't know why I've done it recently enough. He hasn't even been in the news.
but like I think this is actually kind of this episode went better than I thought. Because right, like I kind of wanted to go like jump through the whole fucking series, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to. But I think Keyboard Warriors kind of inspired this. I think we haven't done like a super hot take in a while, but I'm going to go for it. Here we go.
Oh, no.
The prequel was better than the original trilogy. Ooh.
You're wrong, but okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. That's a spicy ass take. That's a fucking habanero take.
Because think about it, right?
That's a ghost pepper butthole take.
Yeah. Ooh. So you got some explaining to do.
Expound.
In every conceivable fashion, the prequels are better than the original trilogy because, like, they had fight choreographers in the prequel trilogy. They had CGI.
They had some bougie, shitty ass CGI.
They had good CGI. You want to know what didn't have any CGI?
The fucking kick-ass practical effects of the 70s and 80s, motherfucker. Alien. Both of them. Alien and Aliens. All 3 original Star Wars movies. Jurassic fucking Park 1. Come at me. Practical effects will kick the shit out of CGI from now until the end of fucking time.
Ooh, you touched a nerve. Let's be real.
The fight scenes are better. I will give
The
you
fight
that.
scenes were better.
No.
The actors were better.
No.
The costumes were better.
He's just like, no.
The fucking CGI was better. The
Because they didn't have CGI in the 70s, you fucking reprobate.
Whoa.
What?
Damn.
Fuck you. I don't. You want to know what? I got a word, you fucking fastigio.
Listen, go get bukkakied on a mezzanine.
And we're back. And with that, we have reached the end. Jeez. that was savage at the end. This has been our special episode for May the 4th. We are Critical Hit.
Return for Revenge of the Fifth. Do it.
Nice. Find us everywhere you find your Star Wars tribute, super dunking, mythical champions, D&D Railed, amazing, great and favorite podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, and others. I did that last week.
Did you ever find out if we were actually on Deezer?
Yeah, we're on Deezer.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
For anybody who wants to know. Find us on Twitter at KritHitOfficial.
With a K.
With a K. New episodes every Thursday at noon. Until then, may the Force be with you.